Hello, name's Adam, welcome to the channel, and welcome to today's video. Alright, we're back in The Sims with our Holiday House Build Challenge. And today, we're just gonna do just a kind of final look back. Just see, what we did, where we've come, and we're just gonna kind of go over all the builds we did in the past year. Let's see just what we did in 2022. What we spent most of our agonizing and torturous hours in 2022 in The Sims 4. Anyway, alright, so like I said, we're just going to critique each build, kind of just go over them and maybe discuss some changes that I would have made and see how bad the builds came out. And we're going to go in order, so we're going to start off with our bottle house for New Year's. Ooh. Alright, so here's the first build that we did, and this was for January. And the theme was, well, New Year's, because what else are we going to build for our January build? And for this house, I think what I would have done differently is, well, first of all, I would have changed the ground color because the green bottle doesn't necessarily stand out very well against a green grass background. I think what I ideally would have liked to do was add like probably snow, but if you have it snow, it kind of just covers everything. It covers like the whole ground, the roof and anything, so the bottle would have just been white. So maybe we should have just did something like this. Ah, yeah. Okay, see, that works a little bit better. Oh, oop, we missed a bit here. Okay, see, that makes it pop a lot more than, green on a green background. So I probably should have done this. I didn't really think about these things. A lot of the pointers that I'm going to make about each build are things that I came up with while actually editing the video or taking pictures for the thumbnail. And I was like, well, you know what? It's too late now to make changes. Maybe I'll just kind of write them down and make a video, which is basically the idea behind this video that we're doing now. You can't really see the froth as well, though. You kind of, yeah, it pops out. Yeah, it's fine. Another thing, I have a couple little notes here for each build that I thought of. Oh, and change the shape of the bottle. Okay, here's the thing that I thought of. I think when I was exporting the video or taking a picture for the thumbnail, this doesn't really look like a champagne bottle per se. It looks more like just a plain liquor bottle, honestly. It kind of looks like the liquor bottles you would see in like cartoons and stuff. It doesn't necessarily scream champagne bottle. A champagne bottle looks a bit more like this. Somewhere on the screen. Here. This looks more like just a plain liquor bottle. Then again, if I had did it that way with a more narrow neck, like it would be like, we'll say cut off here, and then this becomes the neck, there would be no living space. Because like, if you remember in the video, we were very limited living space, so yeah, there would be no living space. So maybe it's a good thing we went with this bottle shape? I don't know. Like I said, the bottle shape and the ground are the only two quims, I guess you could say, pet peeves I have with this build. Other than that, I think it worked out pretty well. Got a weird shed here, forgot about that. Alright, let's move on to the next build. Alright, and the next build is the heart-shaped build for Valentine's Day for February, as is the natural progression of time in the months in the calendar year. Wait, does that make sense? You know, I'm just gonna go with it. Anyway, alright, so here's our heart-shaped build. Let's see, what notes do I have for heart-shaped build? Utilizing space better. Yeah, okay, that actually, I would probably agree with that. It's very cramped in this house. Maybe I should have made the house a little bit bigger. That probably would have helped. And I think the bathroom is kind of unusable. I'm not sure on that. Maybe it is usable? I don't know. I feel like they can't get to like the shower or use the sink because I use BB Move objects basically. That's like one of the things about this series is that BB Move objects is a friend of mine in the series. This is a very furnished house as I'm looking at it now actually. There's like stuff everywhere. I think I kind of slacked off towards the end. But ooh, this is a really nice bedroom too. But other than that, yeah, utilize the space better. But I think for what I have, I think I used it pretty well. This table might not be usable in the bathroom, but other than that, I think for what it is, I guess it's pretty well. Something else maybe I could have used was I didn't have round walls at the time, so I can't really make this I can't really make this a fault of my own, I guess you could say. But maybe if we had round walls, maybe use round walls to kind of round out the heart a bit more. But again, I didn't have that resource available at the time, so oh well. But other than that, it's a pretty good But other than that, I think the heart shape came out pretty well, and you can tell what it is. And it's very Valentine's-y in here. Alright, let's move on to our next month, March. Alright, for March's build, we have a St. Patrick's theme build. And honestly, I think this one came out pretty good. If not, maybe a little offensive. I don't know. I'm looking at you, giant leprechaun boy. Actually, it's a garden gnome. Made to look like a leprechaun. But other than that, let's see. What notes do I have on St. Patrick's Day? Pot of gold. Gold placement. Yeah, maybe this. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. It was supposed to be like it was spilling out. Oh shit, I can't put it back. It's supposed to be like it was spilling out. Maybe make it bigger? I don't know. It was supposed to be like, gold coins kind of spilling out of the pot of gold. From a distance, I think it looks pretty good. But, I don't know. Maybe this could have been done a little bit better. I didn't have round walls at the time, so I made an octagon-like shape. But, again, for the resources that I had, I think it came out pretty good. Okay, the interior... Well, that was a giant gold block, damn. This house was expensive to make. Interior is pretty basic. You got your living room, office space. You got your bathroom, kitchen. It's... I don't know, maybe it could have been utilized a little bit better. But, you know what? It is what it is. And you got your bedroom here. This is a massive bedroom. I think this might be the biggest bedroom in the series. Not quite sure on that. Maybe school bus. But, anyway, here's our St. Patrick's Day build for March. And now let's move on to April, which is a mess in its own right. Alright, and here is our build for April, which was Easter egg themed. Now, this house, at the time, I thought, you know what, it's pretty good for what it is. I think it carries the theme pretty strongly. I think you kind of get what it is. Looking back at it now, though, however, I feel like maybe it doesn't. I think maybe it just looks like a giant purple barn, which is actually a comment I made in the video, I do believe, after I had finished building it. Looking back at it now in retrospect, maybe I should have just built an egg-shaped on the ground, like the heart-shaped house or the bottle-shaped house. But I think because, actually I did say this in the video, I was kind of riding on the high of having made a giant pot of gold, like 3D-ish, So I thought, I'm going to make an egg-shaped house. But because the Sims have yet to give us concave walls, when are you going to give them to us, Sims? Huh? In another 14 years? Because we don't have concave walls, I was like, okay, it'll be like an egg, but the bottom half will be buried underground, we'll say. And so that's why we have this weird half egg-shaped house. Now, here's the thing. Again, I didn't have round walls at the time. However, if I did, I could have just did this. Now, the thing is, if I had round walls at the time of making this build, I could just made a simple structure like this. Kind of just do something like that, and there's like an egg-shaped kind of house. Now, before you go and think, oh yeah, this is a lot easier. This stupid little round structure took me a lot longer to build than you would think. Probably a lot longer than it would take a normal person to build this structure. Building round structures in The Sims was a challenge I never intended to take. Oh my gosh, why did they make it so damn hard? It took them 9 years to give us round walls, and they made it one of the hardest endeavors in The Sims. Alright, another note I have about this house is, apparently, I don't know why I did this, but I remember I had a certain purple color, and then I decided, oh, I want to change it. I don't know why I changed it. This is actually more of a magenta. I think I changed it to test it out, and I was going to change it back, and I just never did. And I don't remember what, I think it was this purple. It was like a darker purple, I think. I think this actually looks a little better. And the roofing, oh, brother. No. Yeah, see, the roof was always kind of weird. It just never really matched the house. So there was not really much I could do about that. I probably could have actually did something with the eaves though. Why did I not do that? Anything with the eaves? Isn't there like purple? Oh, okay, there's no purple eaves. That's why I didn't do anything with the eaves. But other than that, I think that's the only quims I have with this house. I think it pretty much screams springtime vibes. You know, it looks pretty Eastery inside and out. I like the way it looks. The interior does make me think of Easter. So yeah, I think this is it. This is our egg-shaped house. All right, let's move on to our next month, which is May. And here is our flower-shaped house for May. Now the theme for May was April showers bring May flowers, because May doesn't really have a holiday per se. That's genuinely known, I guess you could say. I don't know. So I kind of just like, okay, well, April showers bring May flowers. Let's just make a giant flower-shaped house. I think one of my issues with this house is I'm not quite sure if the theming is strong enough to come across, you know, like an average audience. I guess, yeah, maybe it does. The saying is kind of known, but like when you see this house and you think May, do you think April showers bring May flowers? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you even know this is a house themed for the month of May without looking at its posting date, you know? So I think that's one of my issues with this house. Another issue that I just realized right now is that I actually could have just changed the stupid lot name. I actually remember this around, I can't remember. I think it was like the palm tree house or something. I was like, oh, I could have done this. I completely forgot about it until the last build, the Christmas tree house. So yeah, that's a thing. Okay, it doesn't fit. It's just April shows me May F. Let's see. As for space, the house was really gigantic and I was a little bit overwhelmed. So I'm not really sure if I like, you know, put the most effort into the space per se. It does look pretty though. I actually like those cabinets. Those are nice blue cabinets. Yeah, I guess it comes across nice, huh? Yeah, it's livable. It's an odd-shaped house. It's very narrow, but yeah, it works. All right, let's move on to the next build, which is the house for June. Oh my god, I forgot my months. All right, and here is our June build, and it was a Father's Day / first day of summer type of build, hence the giant barbecue. I think my only issue with this house was that I didn't put the stairs all around. Because like if you look at a barbecue in The Sims, and kind of in real life too, these type of like built-in park barbecues, they kind of got like this rounded off type of base, where it's kind of like this, you know, it's kind of like rounded off on the sides or at the bottom. All right, I think that's like my only thing is the base. I should just added stairs to the bottom of the base. See, it kind of has like the slanting downward kind of base. So I think that's the only thing I would have probably done differently. Maybe making the support pole, the center pole thing, maybe a little more thinner. What else could we have done? I think that's probably about it, really. It's a barbecue shaped house. What more can you ask for? All in all, with the limitations of The Sims and me building a weird shaped house, I think it came out pretty good. And the living space is pretty livable, so yeah, we're good. Alright, let's move on to our July build. Alright. Here is our build for July. It is 4th of July themed and it is glorious. Oop, I just lost the top. Some changes, let's see, some notes I have on this build. Again, the round walls. If I had the option to use it, which we actually got the update, I think like a week after I made this build and I had just finished like editing it, or I was in the middle of editing it or something. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, you know what? It's done. I had mentioned this, I think, in the August build. I was like, you know what? It's done. We're keeping it. It would just be a relic of the past. The next time I get the urge to build a firework rocket shaped house, I will use you round walls, but not this time. Let's see. Another thing, I think maybe make the rim of the rocket come out a bit more, kind of not like that, but you know what I mean. And add a little bit more to the smoke cloud coming around here. I think we could add a little bit more around the base, maybe add a little bit more of the firework. But other than that, I think this is a pretty good build. It's livable, the interior. The interior is pretty livable. It's pretty patriotic in there. It's all red, white, and blue in Americana. And yeah, there is our rocket-shaped house. Let's move on to our August build now. Alright, here is our palm tree shaped house for our August theme build. And I know I said this about the May one, but I feel like this house suffers from more from an identity crisis than the May one, and that I'm not really sure if you get the theme from this house. Like, okay, it's supposed to be an August theme build. What is this? Essentially, like I had said in the video, there was nothing really to work off. August didn't really have much going for it that I could think of that I'm aware of. So I didn't really have much to work with. So I was like, okay, we'll go like a beach theme. And then I was like, palm trees, beaches. So that's kind of why we got this palm tree shaped house. And why we kind of got like a bunch of sand. I got like a beach ball here, a giant pool that almost encompasses the whole house. It's basically supposed to be like a beach scene, basically. The theme is kind of like beach, August, summery, you know? So that was kind of the theme for this build. Again, like I said, I feel like it does kind of suffer a bit more of the issue that the May house had, in that I'm not sure if the theming comes around quite as easy, but here it is. I actually really like the way this build came out though. It was kind of hard just to get like all these palm tree leaves, but I actually like the way it came out. However, the living space is it's a little awkward. You gotta go through this long hallway, and then you got like basically every room is basically just a hallway. You got like a weird closet thing here too. I probably should have fitted it out a bit more, but yeah, like I said, every room in this house is basically a hallway. I think the only one that's kind of a normal functional-ish size is the living room. Everything else is kind of just you gotta sidestep around, but yeah, you know what? It is what it is for what we had. That's a tropical looking kitchen. I don't know why, just the colors. Yeah, I know this room has like banana leaf wallpaper, but for whatever reason, this color scheme screams tropical-ish to me. Let's move on to our September build. Alright, here is our build for September, and its theme was back to school. And again, I had talked about this in the video. Kids kind of go back to school a little bit earlier. But like when I was going to school, it was always like September was like back to school. You know, September's coming around, it's time to go back to school. Yeah, summer's over. But like I said, kids do kind of go back to school a little bit earlier now in some parts. And I do see the flaw in its theming, but overall, I think this is actually a pretty good build. However, I did notice something. Of course, I think it was when I was actually taking the thumbnail, so this is like way late into production for this video, but I did notice something. It doesn't have rear view or side view mirrors, and that's kind of like iconic in a school bus. You know, they got the two giant side mirrors. I didn't do that, and I feel like at first I was like, wow, this is a pretty good representation of a bus, but then when I noticed that I forgot the side view mirrors, I was like, is it really a bus? it was actually bothering me. I feel like I kind of really messed up there, but how would I do this? Like, what would I use? Maybe like this dresser, black. Okay, that kind of works actually. It's a little wonky, yeah, I admit. Yes, it's a little wonk. The heck? There. Okay, yeah, that kind of, I think that kind of works. I'm sure there's like something else that I could probably use. But I can't really think about it. I don't really want to dawdle on it. I kind of want to, just move on. Because we got like a couple other builds to do. And I'm still looking. I think that kind of gets the point across. It's the side view mirrors. As for the build itself, this was probably one of the more bigger builds in terms of living space. Because there's actually a lot of space in it. Normally when people live in choose to live in a bus, retrofit into a house, they don't have this much space. Like they got a freaking grand foyer in here. The big kitchen, nice living room, dining room. Yeah, I think this is actually one of the more opulent of the houses. Which is kind of funny because our next house is the complete opposite. Let's move on to our October build. Oh yeah, also, I had mentioned this before, maybe I should put like concrete down here, maybe to make like a driveway, like a giant bus just parked here. Anyway, like I said, let's move on to our next build. Alright, and here is our October build, the giant spider house. I actually really like the way this house came out. I was not sure how it was gonna come out. Um I had mentioned this in the video. I had tried many different themes to go with, like a pumpkin, a ghost. I couldn't really think of one, and then I kind of just like spider. And I was like, alright, yeah, let's try that. That sounds challenging, but I'm willing to do it. And I'm actually really happy with the way it came out. I think it looks pretty cool. Maybe these legs could use a little adjusting maybe. But all in all, I think it came out pretty cool. However, this house is technically a bit of a failure if you want to go by the livability. Because this house, oh actually, you know what? This house is basically just a room. Here's your living room and kitchen and all the living space you're ever going to have in this house. You got a little bedroom here. I was able to squeeze a bed. I actually don't know if that's functional, tell you the truth. You got your bathroom in here. Again, I'm not sure how functional it is because of BB Move objects. And you just got all these weird hallways that I could not use. Oh, there's a little pumpkin in here. How'd you get in there? We'll put you here. That's cute. So yeah, this house, not very functional, unfortunately. Because I think it actually came out pretty cool looking. It looks cool with the walls down, and it looks cool with the walls up. So, you know, all in all, it keeps its shape, and I think it looks pretty cool. I had mentioned this, I think in the video that I made it. Because I had thought, oh, what if I put like a web kind of pattern down here? I did not have the time to do it, and I still don't have the time to do it. But it would be pretty cool if like that could be done. Like just a giant web pattern here on the floor with like these little tiles. Kind of like this, but like, you know, web, you know? That would be pretty cool. However, for now, we are going to move on to our next build. And here is our build for November, a giant turkey. Because in America, November means only one thing. It's turkey! Just kidding, I'm not going to do it again. Alright, so here's our giant turkey build. Again, I actually like the way this house came out. I think it's pretty good. However, there's one issue that I have with this house. And I really wish I had thought of it and had implemented it before, you know, posting the video, making a thumbnail. And it's that I wish I had added wings to the dang turkey. Because I actually really like the way it came out. I think it's it's funny looking, you know? I think it's kind of neat. But originally, and I said this in the video, I thought, oh, I thought, oh, okay, we need to add something to look like wings, right? You know, because it's a turkey. So it's like, oh, we'll just add these windows. It'd be like, oh yeah, that's clever, it's a wing. Actually, it wasn't until after I had finished editing the video and doing the thumbnail, and I actually tested this out because I really wanted to see if it would work. I actually could have just did something kind of like this. And that could have been the wing. I wish I had done this when I was building the thing. Like, I feel like that's such a huge missed opportunity, and it kind of bothers me to this day that I didn't do it. I didn't think of it. That happens a lot, like, too, when I do these, like, when I did these build challenges. It's like, that's so obvious. Why did I not think about it when I was recording it, you know, building the actual house? See, okay, actually, it kind of does make it look a little bit wider in the front. So the front profile is a little bit kind of wonky looking. But I think it still looks pretty good. I think... I should have did it. Oh well. You know what? There's no use crying over it. What's past is past, and it's fine. The interior, again, looks pretty good. All in all, I think this house came out pretty good. It's a little weird, though, about the office being in the head. That's a little inconvenient, especially after living here, and it's like raining or snowing. But all in all, it's pretty good. I like it. I think it's a solid build. I like it. It's silly. I really wish I had implemented this wing design in the original build, but you know what? What's past is past, and we're going to move on to our next and final build, which is right here. And here is the 12th and final build of the series, the Christmas tree house. Originally, I kind of thought, okay, I'm not going to have very many critiques for this house per se, because it's, you know, when you like draw, paint, or just kind of create something, you think it's like the greatest thing you've ever made, And then like later on, you kind of look at it and you're like, oh, that does not look right. I thought I was gonna kind of have that issue with it. I was like, no, this build is fine. But actually, when I was taking pictures for the thumbnail and kind of editing, I did notice a couple things that I'm like, wish I didn't do that. One of them being, and I don't know if this is kind of obvious, but I feel like it's obvious for me. I wish I didn't add these things. I thought, like, during the build, I was like, yeah, that looks like pretty cool ornaments. These look pretty good, I guess. But like some of these are like, where they're not hidden, it doesn't look that good to me. I don't know, maybe they all do. I kind of wish I just stuck with the red balls. Just deleted all these little weird roof ornament thingies. And just stuck with the red ball. I feel like that actually looks pretty darn good. With just the little red balls. So I kind of wish I had just stuck with those. But, again, what's past is past, whatever. Whatevs, bro. Oh, I just noticed this is brown. Maybe the tree's turning brown, it's past Christmas. It's the new year. Yeah, it's turning brown. It's time to throw it out. Another issue I kind of wish I thought of is the star. Like, okay, we have this giant tree here in the house, right? I wonder if I could have just did... Oh, okay. I was thinking, when I was editing, I was like, wait, what if I had just made the tree, like, bigger? Would just the star pop out, or would, like, the whole tree? It looks like just the whole tree would have popped out, so... That... Ooh, oh no, oh no, oh no! Okay, it's fixed. It looks like the whole tree would have just popped out, so I guess what the topper that we did go with was fine. Another thing is I had put a rug down here, and it disappeared. I'm not really sure why. I think because like it was glitching out. I was like, oh, let's just delete it. I'm not really sure, but I just never mentioned it in the video. It just disappears. I was like, when I was editing, I was like, all right, well, that happened. You had a good run, Rug. But all in all, I think this is a pretty good build. Another solid build. The interior actually came out quite nicely, I think. It's pretty nice and cozy. It just feels like warm because of all the red and the wood in it. I wish this, yeah, maybe the interior. Okay, I like this down here, right? I really like the way this looks. But when I look up here, I'm like, well, maybe we should have moved the bedroom down here. And I had mentioned that in the video as well. This is a little wonky, but all in all, I think the outside of the build, I think it's a pretty solid build all in all. I like the way it looks, and I think it looks pretty festive for what it is. Alright, to end the video, we return to our bottle-shaped New Year's themed house as we greet the new year and hope it's a better one. Alright, and as we end the series, we return to where it first began, the bottle-shaped house. Alright, well, honestly, this was actually a really fun series. I was actually really excited when I started it, and I'm glad I did it because it was actually a lot of fun to do. Though I have to admit, towards the end, I was kind of feeling a little bit burned out. What was it? I think it was around the palm tree shaped house, maybe? Yeah, I think it was kind of like I got to the point where I was like, I think because like I had to think of like a theme. And then at that point I was kind of just like, ugh, I'm tired of doing this. But I was like, no, you know what? It's fine. And then it kind of got better because I had like a theme for like September's build, the school bus. I kind of knew what I was going to do. So I was like, all right, this is better. I was getting a little bit burned out there, but I persevered and we made it. We made it. And honestly, I'm really happy that I did it. It's just the building and the editing, it does take a lot of time, and so it does take me a lot of time to do. Editing the building part and the house tour part, which no one watched. When I look at my analytics, everyone always watches up to the point where the house is like finished, the exterior. Nobody watches the tour of the interior. And honestly, I kind of get that, because like the title is making a blah 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 shaped house, whatever shaped house. You get what you came for. Now you're just gonna leave. I get that, okay? I get that. I actually considered dropping the interior section of the videos, but then I was like, ugh, that's gonna like cause a continuity error because the first, let's say the first 5 houses, you know, they got interior, and then all of a sudden we just dropped that portion off. So I was kind of like, eh. And part of the challenge was making a weird shaped house and making it functional. So it was kind of part of the challenge. But if I do another challenge like this where I make like blank shaped house, you know, whatever, I'm just gonna make the house and make the exterior look like it. I'm not gonna deal with the interior and all that. I don't really like decorating houses in The Sims anyway, so it'll save me a lot of time and trouble. I kind of wish I just did that in the first place though. But like I said, it was part of the challenge, making it functional. Alright, well, that's the end of the series. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching if you stuck around and watched. If maybe you haven't watched the series, go back and watch it. It's a good time. I think so anyway. My mom thinks I'm funny. But for now, like I said, I'm going to call the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a like. Please leave me a comment. Please subscribe if you want to. I would really appreciate it. And hopefully see you next time. Alright, see you guys later. Goodbye and have a happy new year. Let's hope it's a good one. Alright, see you guys later. Goodbye.